Yo, what's happening, everyone? Welcome in to a brand new edition of Snaps, your favorite daily college football podcast. It is National Championship Day. That's right. I know many of you out there in the YouTube chat, many of you in the listening audience, I know you. And you're only here because of Aaron Murray, which means you're only here because you are a Bulldog fan, which means that today is a massive day for you because you sit here on the precipice of doing something that is all too rare in college football, and that is back-to-back national championships. And all that stands in your way is a team that you're double-digit favorites over, 12.5-point favorites. I mean, a team that only has 30% of their players that are blue chip players compared to 77% for the Georgia Bulldogs. This is a game that you could sleepwalk to a victory. So congratulations to all my Georgia friends. Surely there's nothing to be worried about. Surely I'm not going to give you a stat of the day in a minute that's going to make you absolutely terrified because absolutely, look, Aaron, I grew up in Atlanta. We all know Atlanta sports. Nothing can go wrong here. This is definitely going to get across the finish line, and the Bulldogs are going to win back-to-back. I'm one of your hosts here on Snaps, T-Bob Hebert, joined as always by Furry Murray, who just actually figured out 10 minutes ago. I had to explain to him what an actual furry is and a persona in the furry community. But I'm very pleased to be joined by Furry Murray. Aaron Murray, what's up, man? How we feeling?
I may just spontaneously bark about 15 times during this episode, T-Bob. So just be ready absurd. For it. The wife is bringing down some tea shortly to make sure the throat, little tea, little lemon.
Wait. Real tea or
ready to go?
Did we just get sucked into the Twisted Tea endorsement here?
I was about to say no free ads on Snaps.
What are we doing here?
This is more vocal cord tea, T-Bob.
Okay.
Because or else we're going to play the commercial that you just posted on your Instagram.
Did you like the commercial? I actually thought it was pretty well done, boys. I thought it was really well done. Make sure you go to my Instagram and look at our latest commercial that the wife and I put together. I thought she did pretty good. Her first big run.
Pretty well.
Pretty well. I don't appreciate you, T-Bob, though, starting the show off already making excuses for TCU. They don't have the blue chip guys. They're not as talented. It's a foregone conclusion. Already making kind of the
Okay. So time the hell out. Time the hell on, Mr. Watch the Film guy. Mr. Be objective. Watch the film. You've been saying Well, it's because too many people use it as some sort of get out of jail free card. Like when I clearly showed
it's our homework.
that clearly showed you that what's his name under Cristobal, Van Dyke, had gotten awful. But you say watch the film. He did awful. Like explain to me.
He did
you
awful.
Watch film. Explain to me. He did awful. So my point is, you're gonna act like it's me. Just out here on a limb saying that Georgia's way better than TCU from a talent perspective, and that's just not objective truth. Like on a man-to-man basis, it's not even close.
I'm not saying it's not true. The way you said it,
really over double the amount of blue chip talent. NFL players top to bottom. They're 12.5-point favorites. If Georgia loses this, it will be the biggest upset in modern college football national championship history. Like, I don't know if there's one floating around in the background, but it would be a disaster. It would be a complete choke job by the Georgia Bulldogs. And as I said, I get it. I grew up in Atlanta as well, boys. I'm just glad that Georgia and Atlanta sports don't have a history of choking on epically massive scales. Like, you should feel great about today. Just, or how about this? How about this? Stat of the day. Stat of the day. There it is. There it is. Stat of the day.
We all know that number.
I'm not saying anything. Stetson Bennett as the starting quarterback in Georgia, 28-3 going into today. How about that? It's kind of funny, man. Kind of funny. Who knows? No. We'll see.
I mean, it is a pretty bad number. It's like the number that Georgia fans like want to throw up. Luckily for me, I'm not a Falcons fan. Sorry to disrespect those in the state of Georgia. I'm a Bucs fan. Tom Brady, hopefully we keep him for another year. We'll see. But it would be very disappointing. I will say that, though. Like, I don't think it's something that derails the program. It doesn't derail, what Kirby Smart has built since he stepped foot in Athens as a coach. Like, well, this is still full steam ahead, and I still anticipate this team to fight for many more championships over the next decade plus. I mean, Kirby's late 40s? If he wanted to, Kirby can coach for another 15, 20 years. Our producer Ryan Bumley tried to start a chat in our group chat about does Kirby move on to the NFL? I don't think Kirby moves on to the NFL. I think Kirby is plenty content.
I did say, I did not start that conversation. What I did say is that conversation will start on Wednesday or Thursday if Georgia wins.
It's a legitimate conversation. I mean, it's a legitimate conversation. The guy can coach ball. He's done everything at the college level. It's time for him to challenge himself. He wants to see what he can do in the NFL. You think he wants to recruit these kids? You think he wants to keep sucking these teams 24/7?
I do.
What?
I do.
So what does he even have to prove? He win 2 national championships.
You want to have to prove? You want to have to prove? He wants to prove that he's better than Nick Saban.
Yeah, you do that by going to the NFL and succeeding. Nick Saban couldn't hack it in the NFL level. You've already done back-to-back, which Nick Saban did. Now you go to the NFL, and if you have success there, you did the lone thing that your former master could not. You did the one thing that your master could not if you go take an NFL team to the playoffs. Remember that?
I agree with that, but I don't think he really cares. No, I'm not scared. I don't agree with it. Like Kirby is not the guy. To me, he's at his alma mater. The guy loves college football. He's getting paid a boatload of money. He's winning championships. He's recruiting at a high level. He has an incredible staff of assistants that are helping him take some of the pressure off of doing every little small detail possible. He's in a good spot right now. Like, is coaching the NFL easier than college football? Possibly, yes. It's less time consuming. It's less kissing ass because you don't have to recruit. You have to deal with the portal. You have to deal with NIL. But also, I mean, what right now you are in a position to win not only this week or tonight, to win back-to-back national championships. Your second national championship in 6 years. The second time it's happened in 40 plus years. You have an opportunity to win multiple more during your tenure there as the University of Georgia head coach. You take an NFL job, there's no guarantee you're going to have success because where are you going to go? You're going to go to a bad football team. You're going to go to a really bad football team in a bad situation. And there's just not a lot of coaches that have had success moving from college to the NFL. Another college coach just got fired today. Cliff Kingsbury just got fired. What is the track record?
Oh, hold on now. The difference was Cliff Kingsbury was never actually good in college either. Like, not overall record-wise. I agree. Like, he was good, but not record-wise.
We've seen 2 this year. We've now seen 2 coaches this year that left from college to go to the NFL. Your boy now at Nebraska, and then Cliff Kingsbury. What coach has had success moving from college to the NFL? Name one. Name one.
I mean,
please. Why would you do
Jimmy
it at
Johnson?
This point?
Yeah, no, but I agree with Aaron saying like modern era, right? Because obviously from the past,
Bill O'Brien.
From the past, there's plenty. Okay, Bill O'Brien's a good one, actually. Yeah, bro, Bill O'Brien won multiple divisions. Bill O'Brien, the GM, got him in trouble, not Bill O'Brien, the head coach.
Yeah, true.
Look, Aaron. Look,
I'm just saying it's rare. It's rare. Why ruin what you have built to take a chance on something that does not happen with a lot of success at the next level
for the same reason that everyone else that has built something similar has left. For like the old boy tells him, Jim Carrey in The Mask, when Cam Diaz walks in the bank, girl like that is always looking for the BBD, the bigger, better deal. And we love college football, but the NFL is the bigger, better deal. And Kirby's going to want to take a shot at the big dogs. He wants a Super Bowl. He wants a Lombardi. I mean, what's the college football national championship trophy? It changes every 5 years. It's a crystal ball 1 second. It's a roll.
Exactly. Something more to win.
Next. Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what it is now? You know what stays the same? That classic silver Lombardi. When you see it, you already know what the deal is. I have so much fun that we've gotten to. I'm so happy.
You know what the difference is too?
And
you want to go back?
Complete Kirby Smart debate about him going to the NFL. I don't think Kirby Smart's going to the NFL. I don't think Kirby Smart's going to the NFL. Are you freaking kidding me? Of course. Look at him. He loves Georgia.
And that's the difference too. Like these other coaches have left their schools to take a chance at the NFL. None of them were former letterman of that university. Like this is his dream job. Like Nick Saban at LSU. Like Nick was king of Baton Rouge. Nick was the man. Nick was loved. But it's not like he had ever worn that uniform before. He wasn't an LSU guy. Kirby is a Georgia guy. Like you think he's going to take the chance, leave Georgia, go to the NFL, possibly shit the bed, have to leave, and then think that he's going to just be given the job back at Georgia. Say a new coach comes in there, is having success. He's not, why risk that? This is his dream. He's living his dream. He's happy. He's making money. He's living in Athens. Everything is going well. Stop trying to put bad thoughts out there, T-Bob, of our coach leaving so your boy can try to take over there at LSU. That's all you're trying to do right now. That's all you're trying to do.
Sometimes I swear, dude, sometimes I know how Jesus felt, right? Like I'm just sitting here, an innocent bystander, just trying to spread the good word. And I'm just catching like arrows and slings and rocks. Me, Aaron, trying to put out bad juju. All I said is Georgia's way more talented, and it would not surprise me if Kirby tried to take a shot at the league, like Chat points out. Pete Carroll did not long ago after winning a couple natties on college. He did pretty well. Harbaugh made Stanford good, as Chat points out. He did pretty well. So, I mean, I'm just having the conversation. Okay. I'm not offering to take either way. I'm not saying that Georgia's going to blow it tonight and it's going to be awful and you're going to have to watch your entire fan base splinter and turn on one another, which you never would have expected, kind of like Michigan did last week. I'm not saying that's going to happen at all. Okay. I'm just saying you better hope that it doesn't, because it's not going to be fun to live through as someone who has suffered a lost national championship.
How happy is Brumley right now that we actually got that topic in?
Yeah, hey, look, man, that's what great producers do. That's why Brum's the GOAT, dude. That's why Brum's the GOAT. Okay, so other things to get through here. I've got a second stat of the day. Penei Sewell started college in 2018. He was drafted by the Lions in 2021. He just finished his second season in the NFL. By the way, if you go watch a little hook and ladder play from yesterday, Penei Sewell has an incredible lead block where he blows this dude up. It's so sexy. Penei Sewell is 22 years old. Stetson Bennett, 25, started college football a year before Sewell and is still currently playing that college ball, looking for a second natty.
Get it while you can. Hey, you know who's coming back? You know who else is coming back for like a fifth year? This is something that should scare the crap out of you. Cam Rising. I had to just look it up. Cam Rising, quarterback for Utah. The petite Trojan boys ain't going to win it again next year. So unfortunate.
Okay, let's be clear about this. I want to be painfully clear about this. I hate Los Angeles. Okay, I always have. Sorry, Colin. Don't get mad at me. Full of elites. My mom, my sisters have lived out there for years and years. I go there all the time. I'm just not really a fan. Okay, I don't like USC. I just had to be right about USC. Again, like Jesus, if I know the truth, I can't keep it under a bushel. I will have to take all. Yes, I said they would win 10 games. Did they win 10 games, Aaron Murray? Did they beat UCLA, Aaron Murray? Okay, yes. Look, again, I take these hits. I didn't care about them winning the Pac-12. I never said they would win the Pac-12. What are we talking about, dude? The bottom line is F USC. I was pumped when Tulane beat him. The only thing that made me mad about Tulane winning was that we didn't get our perfect 6-0 week. And really, honestly, we should have, because USC really crapped the bed. But I'm glad to see them completely crumble. Like, that was great. That's fine. Again, Aaron, I'm just telling the truth, okay? That's what you need to understand. I'm telling the truth. Watch the film of life, okay? Because that's what I do, and that's how I come out with all these great football takes. That and shitty Twitter threads about the Renaissance. How about this? Brum, is this a topic? It's probably very boring. And
hell of a sell.
Okay. Not the best way to start an elevator pitch, but
what?
I just know I'm an old man yelling at the clouds here. But can we get college football national championships off of Monday? Am I the only one here? I mean, do you like it on Monday?
You know what? They don't do it. You know what? You know they do.
Yeah, they're afraid of the NFL.
Yeah. No, it's not afraid. The NFL runs the show. It's nothing that I don't think it's anything that college football can do. It's the networks. The networks don't want to compete with the NFL on a Saturday night game. NFL makes the rules. If the NFL wants Saturday night, NFL is going to get Saturday night, and they're going to push college football to Monday.
So what happens with the expanded playoff when the schedules run into each other? Because they are about to run into each other. It is a guarantee.
Oh, it is going to be guaranteed. Then maybe it changes at that point because that there's something that has to be worked out. But as of right now, based on the format that it is, the NFL says you have one game, we have two, we're the big boys. We want Saturday night, and that's just the way it is. So, yes, things will have to change when the playoff expands and kind of the season runs long. You're not going to put playoff games on a Monday, for goodness sake. So, they'll go on Saturday, but that's something that the networks are going to have to figure out. But right now, they don't have to figure that out. Right now, all they're saying is, hey, we can find a way to put an NFL game on primetime Saturday night, and we can find a way to put a college football game on primetime on a Monday night and not have to worry about Monday Night Football. That's it.
So, again, the why is not what I struggle to understand. As I said, they don't want to go ahead to the NFL. But the fact of the matter remains, I hate championship games on Monday. I just hate it.
Yeah.
We get so excited for college football Saturday all year long. Mm-hmm. If it was on a Saturday night, you could have sick watch parties with no concern about work or anything the next day, no concern about real life the next day. Like it would be way tighter on a Saturday night. And then like it's a Monday. I'm looking at signs outside of SoFi with literal tailgating prohibited, plastic signs up. It's just a bad vibe, man. It's a bit of a bad vibe, a bit of an eerie, weird vibe.
You know what the difference too could be? Because I was trying to think of like other reasonings for having it on Monday compared to say Saturday, is the full fanfare weekend of all the activities done leading up to the game. Like Super Bowl's on Sunday, so like say a fan of the Saints, say the Saints are going to the Super Bowl in LA, just throwing it out there, and you want to go T-Bob to LA to go watch the Saints. You'll probably leave on Friday. So you'll rent a hotel. You'll be there Friday night. You'll be there Saturday. You'll go to activities on Friday night. You'll go to activities on Saturday. You'll go to activities on Sunday. You'll stay Sunday night. You'll leave Monday. It's a full weekend. It's a lot of money for the city. It's a lot of money for the NFL that puts on all these events. If you put a game on Saturday, fans are going to trickle in Friday, Saturday, leave Sunday. So you lose a night or two. Like I know a lot of Georgia fans that have been in LA since Friday. So for the college football, you're bringing in revenue for all these events all weekend long, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. All the hotels and restaurants at that city are bringing money every single day of the week. You add essentially 2 days of opportunities to have fans at that location. NFL's on Sunday, so you get that extra day. Saturday just kind of locks you in a little bit. So, I mean, I don't know. That just kind of came to me. I could be a complete idiot, but it's more money.
Look, again, though, the economic self-interest of Los Angeles can get sucked because I don't care about LA. I want my college football national championship on a Saturday night. Again, old man yelling at the clouds, doesn't matter. I hope it happens in the future. Probably not going to for all the reasons that you just said. Somebody in the chat, Andy J, was saying metaphor with the shirt selections today, T-Bob. And, well, no, because I always wear this Star Wars shirt constantly, but kind of yes. Because again, when you look at tonight's game and you think about Star Wars, you think about A New Hope back in 77, right? When this young, precocious farm boy walks out into the desert and you see him looking off into the binary sunset and whatnot. And all of a sudden, he is thrust into this series of adventures out of nowhere, despite his entire life being a nobody and despite his entire life being a nothing. All of a sudden, He is literally on an adventure of a grand and galactic scale, which ends in the most unlikely way possible. A regular little farm boy who used to bullseye womp rats in his T-16 takes control of a military fighter craft, right? An X-Wing. He joins a Red Squadron. They throw him straight to the military, despite him having no training. And what does he do? He goes out there, he flies incredibly. He pulls off the trench run, and he blows up the Death Star. Wow, incredible. Maybe you could accuse him of being a Mary Sue. I don't give a damn. That's the hero's journey. It's beautiful. Well, Max Duggan will look to complete a similar hero's journey tonight, right? After an entire lifetime of being a nobody caring who the hell Max Duggan was, here he sits with the opportunity for his own trench run. He's already rescued Leia from the Death Star. He did that last week. Now it's time for him to fly in, trust in the Force, and blow UGA the hell up to the adulation of the masses. The question is, who will be his Han Solo, right? Who's going to rescue him when Vader's on his tail? Outside of Duggan, Aaron Murray, which TCU player will have the biggest impact on this game tonight?
I mean, you got to go to the receiving position. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Quentin Johnson is premier. He's maybe the first receiver taken off the board in the NFL draft. I mean, what has been Georgia's biggest issue for the past 2 years? It's been the passing game. It's been an elite receiver taking the top off of defense, and he's got the size, he's got the length. He's able to win one-on-one matchups on the outside, and not saying Kirby's stubborn by any means, but Kirby's going to do what Kirby does. There ain't any changing of Kirby's mind. Like Kirby wants to play an aggressive style of defense. He wants to get his corners, who are big and physical, into the face of these receivers, jam them at the line of scrimmage, and just trust those guys to win one-on-one matchups. Well, which is great and all, and it makes it tough for a quarterback. The windows are extremely tight. You got to be pinpoint accurate. You have to be great with anticipation and timing, all that stuff from the quarterback spot. But if you are, and if you do win those one-on-one matchups, big plays down the field will happen. We saw it last year versus Alabama. We saw it. I mean, you saw it versus Tennessee, but Tennessee just missed those opportunities. Hendon missed a couple shots down the field against man coverage. May have changed the outcome of that game. I still think Georgia wins, but could have been some big plays that might have made it a little bit tighter in the fourth quarter. And then Ohio State was able to win those one-on-one matchups with Marvin Harrison Jr. and create some explosive plays. Kirby ain't changing. I guarantee you, Kirby is not going to change his game plan for multiple reasons. One, he trusts his guys. That's first and foremost. And two, and the reason why I wouldn't change it either, I know you love Max. I love Max. Max is not Bryce. Max is not CJ Stroud. He's a hell of an athlete. He's an incredible competitor. He is not elite throwing the football. And if you're going to beat man-on-man coverage against really good DBs, you have to be all those things that I just talked about. Extremely accurate, great timing, great anticipation. He's a good thrower. He's a better competitor. And if I'm Kirby, I'm going to say I trust my guys to win those one-on-ones. And I just don't see Max being consistent enough to do it. He hasn't been consistent in 2 weeks.
Who's a better thrower? Stetson Bennett or Max Duggan?
Stetson Bennett. 100%. I'd take Stetson all day.
Is there any area of quarterback play that Max Duggan is better than Stetson Bennett?
I think Max is a more physical runner. I think Max is a better runner. I think he's physical. I think that's the one area that would concern me if I'm Georgia is him getting outside the pocket to buy some more time for these receivers to make plays down the field. But if you can contain him and just, it's a little bit frustrating for a defensive line. You're going to kind of have to do what you did versus Tennessee and Hendon Hooker. You may sacrifice getting a sack in order to keep him in the pocket, knowing that, hey, I would rather him throw the football than him run the football. So you may not see a ton of pressure on him tonight necessarily. More contained, don't give up running lanes, that sort of thing. That's what's being preached right now to the Georgia defense. Because if he's forced to throw the ball 40-plus times tonight and say has 7 to 10 rushes for 30 yards, Georgia wins the football game. Georgia will lose the game, or it will be a four-quarter battle if Max Duggan is running for north of 70 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm looking up the Michigan TCU box score real quick because I'm pretty sure. I mean, his stats are nothing to write home about, but yeah, he only threw it 29 times against TCU while carrying it 15 times for 57 yards and 2 additional scores. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
TCU 263 rush yards against Michigan. Now, what's weird though, Aaron, Michigan was the number one defense in the country. Like for as good as Georgia is statistically, Michigan was number one. Now, I think that you get, I think you get a statistical advantage when you play in the Big Ten. And like if you play Iowa, that's a bit like just taking defense stat steroids and injecting them straight into your ass. So they did get an Iowa game, which certainly is good for Michigan. But that was not a defense in Michigan that was used to giving up anything at all this year either. And yet TCU was able to do that. So maybe they can do it again tonight against Georgia. Does anything concern you if you're being honest with yourself and you lay your head down on that pillow at night and you're just thinking of me and, praying to me and my father? Do you ever like what goes through your head? What is there anything that concerns you here about the Frogs?
Well, first off, let's just go to the top 10 defenses in America: Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin. And Penn State's at 17.
I know.
Maybe the offenses in that league just suck. I think it's just that conference sucks at defense.
I agree.
All right, we have a great poll.
I'm trying to make arguments for Georgia to lose. Okay, dude.
See, that's the hard part. Like this is the hard part about having like a legitimate dog in the fight for these games is obviously you want the team to win, but as a fan of football, there is nothing better for college football. And I'll go back to your question if I remember what you just asked me because I was looking up the stats. There was nothing better for the game of college football. I think a lot of people can agree about this than what happened last weekend. The fact that both of those games came down to the wire was so good for the game. It was healthy in the fact of the continued talk about why expansion is good. It was good to see new blood in the playoffs. It was good to see a new team win to make it to the championship. All that was great for the game. What is not great for the game is if Georgia wins this game by 3 touchdowns tonight. As a Georgia fan, I want them to win. So this is like where I'm torn right now. I'm going to celebrate every damn touchdown. I'm going to celebrate every interception, every fumble, every great play by Georgia. And I'm going to say F U TCU, every good play they make. But I want to be entertained. I want to watch 4 good quarters of football. So what do I do in this situation, T-Bob? Because I am so torn of a fan of college football, wanting college football to be the best it can possibly be, yet wanting Georgia to beat the living shit out of TCU.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, I think you nailed it when I made you come to my radio show this morning. Where you made me feel like, where it's like, well, I mean, look, Jake was out. He's out in LA. I'm trying to kill a segment. Friggin' Brum wouldn't send us to LA. So, I mean,
no, I'm more of a dirty mind over here. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Oh, hey. Oh, wow. If I could do that with just my voice, now that would be a talent. I mean, you could go a long way if I could do that. But yeah, when I made you come this morning, I thought you nailed it when you said that. A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people are going out of their way to say, this is why TCU's going to cover. Now, don't sleep on TCU. They're really good here. They're really good there. And it's like, I get it. They are objective, really good here and really good there. But again, it's a 12.5 point spread for a reason. Mm-hmm. And that's because there is a massive gap between these two. And a lot of times people are going out of their way, like I am, to try to juice up TCU to get a little excitement, get a little juice going. And because at the end of the day, Aaron, let's say you play this game 10 times, probably 6 or 7 times Georgia blows them out, right? But there are always the edge cases. And as you said, last weekend was a great weekend for edge cases. And many times this year, there's been great cases, where games went completely awry from what we would have expected. I mean, South Carolina just beating the hell out of Tennessee randomly and Spencer Rattler throwing for 17 touchdowns. What were some of the other wild upsets from this season? Trying to think off the top of my head. Whatever. We called them out every weekend that they happen. The point is, you never quite know. And the power of narrative is with TCU. In terms of the narrative of the underdog, the emotion, I think, is with TCU in terms of what most of the country tuning in will be cheering for. And unfortunately, we'll just see if that emotion will be coldly and ruthlessly crushed out by Georgia, or maybe we get a super special Monday night battle here where TCU kind of outperforms everything that we're thinking.
Are you trying to will yourself to believe it could be a good game? Like deep down inside, like if I honestly ask you, T-Bob,
yes,
like
I'm doing
what's more of a likely outcome? Yes. What's more of a likely outcome? Georgia wins by 21 or wins by 3?
Fuck. I think it's it's probably Georgia winning by 21. It's probably Georgia winning by 21. So yes, I'm in that camp. I'm in that camp. Okay. But remember, I was also in the Michigan was going to smash TCU camp because I'd read that Twitter thread. So not very solid logic, but I was doubting TCU because every week I had TCU's back, but I watched them get into battles with solid but not great Big 12 teams. So I figured when you faced a great team that, you would struggle in that punch up, and they did not round one. But yeah, again, man, look, Georgia, they're standard. I think it's more likely that Georgia, but guess what? I'm wrong all the time. I'm wrong on a daily basis, kind of. Not really. I'm never, I forgot. I was just saying earlier in the show, I'm never wrong. Okay, honest time. I am wrong all the time, okay? And so I would love nothing more than be wrong again. In fact, I'm putting money on TCU just as a way of throwing not a big play because not a confident play, but I'm putting money on TCU just as a way of like putting my energy into the universe, trying to will the frogs on to making this a good game. If you want to join me in my push, FanDuel, download it today. FanDuel Sportsbook got promo code SNAPS, and let's all take TCU tonight. Unless you're a dog fan in there, then I get it. But Jesse says, keep down the frog. TCU got to learn you.
First off, T-Bob, before you start sending people to go bet on TCU, we have an entire same game parlay, for goodness sakes, that we're trying to get people to go
both.
On. And part of that,
do both.
Betting, spend half your money betting on our same game parlay, and then use some money to bet against Georgia covering the spread. Stand by our picks.
Either way you win.
We're united
in
this same game parlay, T-Bob. We are united in this same game. So for those that want to make money tonight on this game, I'm going to kind of list off our same game parlay. You can find it on FanDuel. The boys actually made it on the main page of FanDuel. Shout out FanDuel. All right, so this is the 4 things we got. Georgia to cover. Georgia over team total points. You know that offense is going to kick ass. Bennett over the passing yards. Bennett plays big in big games. We know that. And then Bowers an anytime touchdown. That could be a jet sweep. That could be a catch. I don't care. Those 4 things, same game parlay. If you can bet in a state, do it.
Yeah, okay, so here's the deal. You place a small bet on that, and then you do a still small but slightly larger bet on TCU. And maybe you lose both, but that's fine. But if one of them hits, you're going to come out a little bit ahead either way. If you're not a Georgia fan, join me. Let's just do a small TCU play here, okay? And you can also play the Snaps parlay, of which I'm also playing tonight. Server Boys 3000 says steady goes off tonight early and often. We're going to see. We gonna see, and then we gonna see if y'all are gonna turn him in if he does not.
Who are your difference makers for both teams? Let's go one of each. One offense, one defense for both teams.
It's look, I don't think it's any. I'm just gonna go chalk, right? If you're Georgia, it's Brock Bowers. Offensively, I'll go Stetson Bennett just because it's the quarterback. Even though I could go Brock Bowers if I wanted to, whatever. And then Jalen Carter. Defensively, maybe Kelee Ringo and how he can hold up against if they ask him to just go one-on-one with Quentin Johnson. But I'll still go Jalen Carter because I think he can make Max Duggan's life absolutely miserable. And if he can shut down TCU's rush attack, then they're going to be in real trouble. So Jalen Carter on defense, Stetson Bennett on offense, and then on the TCU side, the Thorpe Award winner Hodges Tomlinson on defense, kind of the captain of that defense, making sure that everything, trying to affect it. He's going to have to make a big play at some point, create one of those turnovers they want to win. And then, of course, Max Duggan on offense. So very chalky. I don't think anything terribly interesting in that answer.
No, so I'm going to go Kenny McIntosh on offense at the running back position.
Really?
Yeah, I just feel like Georgia's best games over the past couple of years. Last year is when Georgia got James Cook involved in the games, whether it's running the football or catching the ball in the backfield. Like Georgia's best offensive performance in this year too is similar. When Kenny's involved in the game, catching the ball, running the ball well, Georgia tends to put a lot of points on the board because where's the focus? The focus is always on how we stop Bowers. If Darnell's on the field, how we stop the tight end position. Then teams want to then focus on the receivers. Georgia's built so different. And you and I talked about this a little bit on AMP before this show, and why it's so hard for people to kind of wrap their brains around why Georgia's offense is elite, because we're so used to seeing for the past, especially 8 years of college football, we're so used to seeing elite quarterbacks and elite receivers. LSU, first real good example, like LSU, and even, Tua before that, and some of the Alabama offenses. And then you look at LSU and their offense, elite quarterback, elite receiver. Next year, Alabama, elite quarterback, elite receivers. And that's how you view offenses. So they have to have that combination. And Georgia kind of said, screw that. We'll flip the switch. We're going to have a really good quarterback, and we're going to have great tight ends, and we're going to have great running backs. And that's kind of how the tiers work. It starts with our offense will run through the tight ends. Our offense will then run through the running backs. And then third on that list is the receivers. And I just think it's really tough for a defense because of that, because the defense is so used to you get in on Sunday or Monday and you go say, okay, what receiver do we need to stop this week? What quarterback do we need to stop this week? And that's kind of your mindset. That's not Georgia. It's, okay, how do we stop Bowers? How do we stop Kenny? And there's just a lot of stress that you can put on a defense because of that. So, yeah, I think when Kenny has big games, this defense does their or this offense does their thing. On defense, I'm going to go to Keeley. Keeley has to play better. Keeley has to play better. He's been picked on this season at times. He's going to be asked to play a lot of man-to-man on Quentin. You got to play big, my man. And he does. He plays big in big-time games. I'm expecting him to maybe having a possible game-changing interception. I'll go same guy on defense for you for TCU. Make Georgia one-dimensional running the football. And I think Max has to have a big game running the football. I talked about Georgia trying to stop him from running, and Max can get to north of 60, 70 yards rushing and 1 or 2 touchdowns with his legs. I think that opens that offense up, creates some more one-on-one opportunities on the outside. So if he can run the ball well and take care of it, no interceptions, I think TCU can, possibly have success on offense.
Brandon Pratt, $5 super chat. Shout out, Brandon. Says Stetson walked into the barbershop in Compton 30 minutes later. Staquavius walked out. Dogs by 50. Do we have a Stetson hairstyle confirmation yet? Because he did not look faded up at the clip in which he was. And you gotta love this. Stetson Bennett was up there talking about how everybody doubted them all year long, and then was like, and I know you're gonna say that's not true, but everybody did. It's one of my favorite things, and I know I'm kind of making fun of him, but I make fun of every championship team when they do this. Like the Warriors did this when they were on like their 3rd championship.
Nobody believes in us.
No, I know, exactly. And so it's very funny to make fun of outside looking in because it is ridiculous. But at the end of the day, I get it. It's human, right? Like negative comments stay with you more than positive. 10 analysts can say you're going to win the Natty, but the one that doesn't is the one that you find motivation from. So I think that's how you arrive there. But anyway, Stetson did not have the fade from what I saw. Are you at all concerned about this, Aaron? No fade, no problem.
No, he's gone back to his original roots for his last game wearing the Georgia uniform. And I do apologize for those who can hear my dogs barking. Someone is at the front door ringing the doorbell. Stop ringing the doorbell. It's actually our nanny. So we need it. We do need her. Come in, Miss Evelyn.
What kind of breed are you?
So I was asked this question this morning on an Atlanta radio station about just even the way Kirby interacted with Stetson last week. A lot of people said, we saw it after the game. Kirby essentially called Stetson out. And Stetson thrives on that, man. Like he loves it. Like I go back to last year, halftime of the Michigan game, Kirby is laying into Stetson. I mean, ripping him to shreds. And Stetson came out and played really well. Like Stetson he will find a way to find someone who doubts him, whether it's a coach, a media member, players, opposing team, whatever. And he uses it as fuel. It's similar to like, your wife talking dirty to you in bed, T-Bob. You use it as fuel to really take your game to another level. That's what Stetson does. And he does it better than anyone else. So
it's really a natural analogy.
He's right. My wife's like you're not funny, and I'm like, oh, I gotta be. I'm a masochist, bro. I gotta suffer a little emotional pain if I want to climax. I'm sorry. I don't know this. Aaron started this joke train. I don't know how
I did. I've actually tried to use that all week, but just figured I couldn't use it besides on snaps. Not Atlanta radio probably would not have been good.
The point is Stetson is the same way though, right? Yes, he is someone like everybody's a bit different. He thrives off of some people it's interesting and nothing is wrong. Like there's no right way to do this. Some people need to be coddled. Like look at Tua and Mike McDaniel. The positive reinforcement from Mike McDaniel's paid massive dividends for Tua Tagovailoa here in year one. Some people, I was always more like Stetson, like I needed a coach. Like my old man growing up, my old man used to make me so angry to the point of tears. I called it the water boy technique. He made me so angry till I was crying in Little League football. And then he would tell me to go pretend like the guy across from me was him. And I would do it. And I would like take out all of my anger on this person. So a little negative reinforcement can go a long way. So
the amount of times that Bobo used to tell me during the week, I mean, I swear from like Monday through Friday, Mike Bobo, who was my OC, who's now rumored to possibly be getting the OC position at Mississippi State.
Wow.
He would always tell me like, how the hell do you have a scholarship? How the hell are you the starting quarterback? Like, this is like getting it ready for a big game. Then all of a sudden come Saturday, he's like, dude, you're the best. You're ready to go. You've had a great week of practice. I'm like, what the mind games, man. But like, I loved it. Like, I'm the same way. Like, I'm the type that like, I loved getting my butt absolutely ripped from Monday through Friday. Tell me I suck. I'm gonna be in the film room grinding away, getting great takes for T-Bob. You know, that's where really the film insecurity started. You know, if you're sick of me saying that, T-Bob, blame Mike Bobo for giving me so much crap. That's his fault. Yeah.
Well, I'd say you got Bobo back, and I would also say that we need to clip Aaron saying that he loves getting his butt ripped Monday through Friday.
Great promo for the show. Come see Aaron get his butt ripped.
Okay, last actual football question. We got to break down Dan Lanning's tattoo. So I'm watching not watching, up on my Twitter feed just now, a video kind of discussion on the fourth quarter of last year's game prop back up. And I'd kind of forgotten that like it was a struggle for Stetson until that fourth, right? Like we talk about how Stetson won that game in the end, but like I forgot how shaky he was at first, like fumbling the ball, missing throws. It was sketchy as hell. If he has that same slow start, does Georgia still cover?
12, is it still 12.5? It's up to 13.
I'll double check
now back on FanDuel. It's up to 13.5 actually.
Oh wow. Well, okay. Good. Hey.
You're welcome. Thank you, T-Bob. Thank you. For getting that 12.5 for me.
Did yourself?
Yeah. No, I obviously like TCU's a really good fourth quarter team. So yeah, the longer that team sticks around, the more scared you get. It's almost like a think about to like Rocky. And Rocky going against the big Russian. The Russian thinks he's going to knock him out in the first round and just destroy him. All of a sudden, Rocky's just taking punches, and Rocky's like, hit me. And he's staying alive, and the guy just keeps going to the sideline. What's his name? Why am I drawing a blank right now?
Ivan Drago.
Ivan's like, he's like, how is this guy human? Like, how is he taking this punch? So all of a sudden, Ivan starts doubting himself. Ivan starts wearing down. Like, what the hell, man? I'm giving this guy everything I got, and yet he's still standing. So, yeah, the longer you keep an opponent like TCU alive, they feel like Rocky, like, hey guys, we just got to take the punches. All of a sudden UJ starts doubting themselves, and maybe we can find a way to survive in the fourth quarter. Same thing. There you go.
That's a better analogy than the Star Wars one, because absolutely Georgia, like the butt smear and all that other stuff, that is like Ivan training with like the latest and greatest technology and equipment, just like Georgia, like doing steroids and everything. And then you got Duggan over here, just out here like lifting up trees and branches and punching wood, doing, punching meat, beating meat, Aaron Murray. That's just going to lead Max Duggan to an attic. So we do have to break down one of your boys, Dan Lanning, former Georgia defensive coordinator. By the way, national championship final picks for tonight. Aaron thinks Georgia covers. I'm saying TCU covers. Not even because I believe it. I'm trying to put that energy into the universe. TCU covers the 12.5. Okay, let me refresh my call real quick.
Yeah, I thought it was me. It's
better. Am I good? Am I good?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good. You look good.
Now, Did Dan Lanning, your favorite coach, former Georgia defensive coordinator, there was a tweet about Dan Lanning with a tattoo artist, an Instagram post. And he said, wait, we can't wait to show you what we have. And then it was paired with this picture that you are seeing right here. I thought there was no way that this was a real tattoo. For those who know, Dan Lanning was the Georgia defensive coordinator. He is now the Oregon head coach. He had a good year. He had a very good recruiting cycle here recently. And so whatever, all these stories. But this comes out.
Nipple? Is that
yes, like right above her eye line. Yeah, slightly hairy nipple. I love it so much.
So that's a ribcage tat. Nice.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Like there's so many details here. The more that I look at it, the more that continues to be revealed. So Dan Lanning comes out publicly. This is an actual tattoo that he got. This is real. And as you said, at first you're like, oh, whoa, wow. That, I wonder where it is. Is it on like a forearm, whatever? Then you see the hairy nipple. You realize, oh, it's not just tattoo hair. This is This is a big ass tattoo. This runs the entire side of his body. If you're like me, you probably have been looking at this tattoo a lot, trying to figure out exactly what everything means. And maybe when you were staring at the cleavage part of the tattoo, you started to kind of notice like a stirring in your loins, only to then kind of wake up and realize you're just staring at Dan Lanning's pale love handle. Like, I mean, I'm sitting here like, oh man, look at that. Then, and the next thing I'm like, wait, no, that's Dan Lanning's dad bod. I'm looking at here. So, okay. The point is
Daniel Basham made a great point. Still better than AJ McCarron's tattoo. Is there a way to like do a back to back?
Yes. But I'm going to come to AJ's defense here. AJ got it as a college kid. Dan Lanning has millions upon millions of dollars.
And is 36 years old.
This tattoo is quality, like from a pure artistic quality standpoint. But honestly, I think it could have been a little better. But that's just me. For millions of dollars, I think it could have even been a little bit better. That said, Aaron, if you have any questions.
Pretty good. All I know is that had to hurt. So I have a big rib tattoo too, and it was one of the most painful experiences of my life. And that is actually bigger than mine. So that looks like that would have been.
What do you have on your ribs?
A lot of pain. Have I not showed you what I have on my ribs before?
I don't think so.
You would love what I have on my ribs.
You probably got like a paragraph or something, like a live, laugh, love.
No. Can I show this on
Hard
Snap?
shit eat.
Brum?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there it is. Yes, the cashew. For those listening on
the cashew.
For those listening on the podcast, it is a Star of David with a cross in the middle of it. Hell yeah.
With all my parents, my parents' initials, mom on top, dad on bottom, brother and sister on the sides.
Honoring both his Catholic origins and Jewish origins. Okay, I actually love that. So tattoos with meaning, right? That has meaning to you.
Tattoos.
This is meaning to Dan Lanning. What we learned is this is Dan Lanning's wife. Now, when you look at the tattoo, you may assume that she is also tatted up, at least visibly. This is not true from the pictures I've seen. Again, visibly, right? So then you start to break. We get into like a tattooception situation where I'm looking at the tattoos inside of the tattoo. Brum, bring the picture back up here. Because there's a lot of details here. First off, she has the Alabama A where a teardrop would be. Of course, he coached at Alabama, but also right above that on the eyebrow is 33-18. The score of last national championship when Georgia beat Alabama. So therefore, he's simultaneously honoring his Alabama past while also saying, oh, well, Alabama, you said that we beat you 33-18. He's got 816 next to that. That's the area code he grew up in.
Is that an Arizona State? Is that an Arizona State below the 33-18?
That is a Sun Devil. That is a Pitchfork. He coached at Arizona State.
Okay.
There is he coached at Sam Houston State, which is where you see the state of Texas right underneath the collarbone. There is a pity on the titty, if you will, as the Pitt logo is diving into the cleavage. He coached there as well.
Where's the T at? Where's the other T at though?
Well, it's down there. You got to go searching for that other T. You got to dive in there. And then there is the Oregon symbol, which of course we all know the Oregon, and that's around the neck, and it's got the yellow ribbon in the middle, which from looking up, I think it could be cancer related. There's a few things that yellow ribbon could mean. So really honoring Dan Lanning's
What's the boomerang on the right of the Oregon symbol?
And now we arrive.
The best question you have, Aaron.
Yes. Now, Aaron Murray, you are asking the correct questions. As Dan Lanning and his wife actually have quite a sweet story. They both met when they were 16 years old working at Outback Steakhouse. And so here, the boomerang is a little shout out to Australia, to the Outback, to Outback Steakhouse, as that is where his love of this woman was originally formed. And now he has made this love eternal in the form of a giant rib tattoo. And it's actually kind of sweet and kind of beautiful. And for Lanning, I love it. Because this tells me that he's always been a huge tattoo guy, but he's kind of had to hide that light under a bushel because he wanted to be one of these premier head coaches, right? And teams are all, everybody feels very buttoned up generally in these jobs. Yeah. And now Lanning's comfortable. He's smoking cigars on his recruiting day videos. He's killing it. He's feeling good about himself. He's finally getting inked up like he's always wanted to. Shout out to you, Dan Lanning. I'm so happy for you, dude.
It's just that I just feel the pain of that tattoo on my side right now. It's a lot.
A really cute
it is a
couple
lot
too.
Yeah, they are a great couple. It's a great
I saw
couple.
you clicking.
And listen.
Oh, yes, sorry,
and I've talked about what kind of wife it takes. So there's a saying in the coaching world, for wives, there's great ones and there's X ones. That's all there is. They're in between. So if you're a wife of a coach, we know the hours they put in. You definitely deserve some ink on your man's body for the sacrifices you make as a wife. So shout out to
okay,
Dan.
you're right.
Good job.
So by extension, your wife does not deserve that. You're saying?
Well, because I'm not coaching. So don't start this. There's always there's already. I've already had to deal with some of her friends hit me up like, oh, so when's Sharon and Maddox and Miles going to go on your rib cage? I'm like, that shit hurt. I don't want to do that again.
Oh, I don't know, man. So you love your mom and dad more than you love your wife, you're saying here. And you love your
children, not just wife and kids.
Yeah. See, I don't have a tattoo.
If you'll go,
otherwise I would have them all over.
T-Bob, let's just have a fun weekend of getting vasectomies and tattoos all at once. I'll get my wife and kids on one side, just get it all knocked out, one painful ass weekend, and just bam, we're done. Boom, snippy, tattoos on the side, and it's a done deal.
Dude, if I had made the league, I would have a sick half sleeve right now. That's the only thing that was holding me back. I was like, I don't want it for everyday life. I was like, if I would have made the NFL, I would have had like a sick, uber colorful half sleeve, and it would have been all like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, football, Harry Potter. It would have been awesome. By the way, Aaron, did you see the new Harry Potter demo for that new open world RPG that's coming out? The new one.
Ooh.
I know you saw the 15-minute one from a while ago. I just watched the 30-minute one over the weekend. Oh my God. It is insanity, dude. I know Nerd Sleeve would have been awesome, Matthew, but the thing is, you would need I would have to spend a lot of money to get the kind of tattoo that I would want, and I have no desire to spend that money on a tattoo when I could buy more miniatures. Hey, check it out. We love y'all. Okay. I've got the Zelda on my forearm, Gryffindor arm pat for T-Bob. No, I'm not a big Gryffindor guy. I'm more Hufflepuff myself personally. Like granted, Gryffindor is great and all, but it's a little I don't know. It's like cheering for the Yankees.
People who say they're Gryffindor, Yankees is more time stolen valor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Of course, I'm in the best house. Duh, of course I'm in the best house.
I truly consider myself. I trually consider myself a Gryffindor.
Slytherin.
I'm just gonna throw it out.
No,
Definitely
you're a Slytherin. Look at your black hair.
I'm 100%.
Actually, no. I guess you. No, actually, you look like you are a Gryffindor. I agree that you're one of the few people. My wife is without a doubt Slytherin. She accepts it, and
so is my wife. She's very Slytherin-esque.
Yeah, I'm a Hufflepuff.
I think my wife's more Ravenclaw, but she wants to be Slytherin. But she's more to me a Ravenclaw.
Wants to be Slytherin, kind of kinky. That's a bad girl you got there. Anyway, Chris Brown, this is so funny. I'm being legitimately strategic with my coffee. That makes me very happy. I hope you don't spit it onto your screen or anything. We love y'all. And we thank y'all so much for hanging out with us every day. We really, and look, we're not going anywhere. Okay. College football ends today, but we're going to keep doing this every day. It's like that great season finale of Always Sunny a couple of years ago where they make you think the whole episode they're about to cancel the show, only to be like, we're having fun. Like, we're not going anywhere. And so we are. We'll be back throughout the week, obviously. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you listen on podcasts, one way, if you like the show, obviously, I'm not telling you to just go out and do it, but you should. But if you like the show and you want to help us rate it, review it, that really helps, kind of naturally gets the robots to spread it out more. And remember, tonight, after the national championship, immediately after, we'll be live on Amazon app. We'll be pushing that link through our social media. We'll be live with Colin Cowherd. It's going to be a ton of fun. Our first time ever talking to Papa Colin. I don't know about you, Aaron. This will be my first time ever actually conversing with him. I'm very excited. Well, through voice, not through text or Twitter or something like that. I'm pumped up. Have you talked to him?
See y'all tonight.
Have you talked to him?
The first time.
Okay, you haven't either. Okay, I didn't know.
This is the first time talking to the boss man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. All right. Well, huge shout out to Ryan Brumley, Paul Farrington, Pat Gunner, Danny Cardenas, all of our wonderful Snaps team. Huge thank you to you, Aaron Murray, and as always, huge thank you to you, the listening audience. We love you so much. Thank you to FanDuel Sportsbook app, promo code SNAPS. Best of luck to you, Georgia fans, tonight. I would hate it. Hey, quiet, Siri. I would hate it if we would get in here tomorrow and have to be breaking down a Georgia loss. That would be, that'd be the worst. So good luck, Georgia fans. We will see you tomorrow for some more snaps.